WWE returned to the historic TD Garden in Boston for the August 14 episode of Smackdown, headlined by the latest in a rivalry between CM Punk and Kevin Owens, as well as Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. So there's a lot going on in this week's show. So without further ado, let's get straight into things. And we kick things off with Nick Aldis, who introduced the women's champion Chelsea Green to the ring to kick off the show, wasting no time addressing her broken eye socket. Hesitantly, he asked that she relinquish the title. Green launched into a tremendous promo in which she talked about the sacrifices she's made, the laughter and ridicule she endured, and how she came to work and did her best. She insisted correctly that she earned the title, and until someone takes it off her, it's hers. It was a fantastic babyface moment. Aldis ignored his GM intuition and agreed to give the champ 30 days to get clean. Gunther interrupted proceedings with his typically great heel self as he insulted both authority figure and the injured champ and drew out Matt Cardona to defend his wife. The show through to the break with the ring general in irate at ringside. And yeah, this was business that was fantastic with a career killer and a little fresh sprinkled in for good measure, made for a strong start to the show, and obviously led to the Matt Cardona Gunther match after the break. The ring general dominated the action, even powerbombing the former US champion onto the commentary table, feeding off his wife's sense of urgency. Cardona fought back into the ring and delivered a rough rider for a high drama near fall. Gunther put him down with consecutive powerbombs though and tapped Cardona out with the most appropriate Boston Crab. After the match, Nia Jax and Ash Legend hit the ring, with the former announcing her desires for the challenge for the Women's Championship. Before the heels could get any further damage to Hot Mess, Timothy Stratton unsuccessfully made the save, hammering away at the irresistible forces, only to be left lying. An extended squash for Gunther is kind of what we expected, but it led to an interesting angle afterwards. That worked much like the opening segment as SmackDown continued its hot first 30. So yeah, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. We then moved on to a host of backstage segments, starting with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, who reunited to come across Tatum Paxley, who invited them to join her make shrine to the former tag champions. They obliged, but did so cautiously, as they're not yet sold on partnering with the former NXT star. Elise, the unhinged, obsessed persona, works for Paxley beyond NXT. Elsewhere, Cody Rhodes confronted Nick Aldis and expressed his desire to settle differences with Randy Orton, and that was booked for SNME on September the 6th. Sami Zayn interrupted during the ire of Rhodes, who picked a match between the two for tonight. If all is obliged and added a stipulation, Zayn can't win, the last real good guy in WWE will receive a championship match against the winner of CM Punk and Kevin Owens. There was some great intensity and anger from Rhodes here, a dichotomy of what we typically see from the American Nightmare. As the pressure to regain the title and seek revenge against Orton sets in, it'll be interesting to see what kind of type of Cody we get. So yeah, intriguing stuff. We then got the US title on the line between Carmelo Hayes and Baron Corbin. Hayes may have been in his hometown, but that didn't mean the championship victory was kind of coming. The former NXT World Champion took the fight to his large opponent, and late in the bout was set up for the first 48. Instead, Corbin recovered, shoved Hayes from the top rope to the arena floor with his opponent stunned. Corbin slid in and delivered the end of days and successfully retained the gold. After the match, Trick appeared, allowing Yodi to attack Corbin with a kendo stick. The former US champion laid him out there just before joining the Patterson sending rapper in standing tall. Immediately moving on from Hayes, the Spotlight Wings was certainly a choice, and it doesn't bode well for the idea that the charismatic good guy will be factored into the plans from here. So yeah, that's criticism. But yeah, I think all three of these guys are fun. So yeah, I do really hope they kind of get to playing together in the storyline. Ahead of their championship match in Toronto next week, CM Punk cut off Kevin Owens before he could say a word, entering into a thunderous ovation to the dismay of the number one contender. A tense verbal showdown ensued, with Owens knocking Punk's history of burning bridges, including a reference to the Bucks and Omega in AEW without naming them, and the beratement Punk dealt with a 20-year-old KO on the independents. Punk claimed he had spent the last 2 decades evolving, getting better, while Owens never put in the work to do so. The battle of insults concluded with a prize fighter claiming he will beat Punk's bitch ass next week, while the champ vowed to put Owens' fat ass to sleep. This was every bit the tense confrontation we were hoped for. It kind of blended fiction with reality, and definitely sold out with 2 fantastic talkers. Great stuff. As we then moved on to the triple threat tag match for the titles, and new world champions were crowned here with Tama and Talatonga under the guidance of Haku, defeating the War Raiders and Damian Priest and R-Truth. An action-packed three-way battle preceded the finish, but it was a late flurry of siblings and their brothers keep a double powerbomb to Truth that earned the victory. A solid match, and a crown new chance, and hopefully providing the tag team titles with a bit of a spark. Lack of babyface options is a bit of a shame, except for Fraxian, but we'll have to see where it goes. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. As we then moved on to the women's US title match, Tiffany Stratton against JC Jane, and for the second consecutive match we saw new champions with JC Jane defeating Tiffany to win the gold. Late in the match, Stratton scaled over the ropes to deliver the prettiest moonsault ever, only to switch their attention to Reed and Henley on the outside. She wiped them out as they threatened Chelsea Green. As a result, Jane recovered, rocked her with a rolling on curve, styling the title. Not only does the finish get gold on a heel, which is a better option given the strength of the babyfaces on the SmackDown side, it also propelled Stratton and Green tumultuous partnership forward. Will Tiffy time ever blame Green? Maybe not initially, but eventually sure. Does that mean her the favourite to dethrone Green? Perhaps. Either way, this was a successful bit of business on a good night for the women's division. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Before the main event, Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, Randy Orton attacked the American Nightmare, instigating a brawl, spilling into the crowd. As they fought back to the ringside area, the Viper seized control and dropped his rival on the commentary table, grabbed the steel chair and set Rhodes up for a chair shot, but his former protege caught him with a low blow. The former champ teased a chair shot with Zayn, only to have producer Daivari grab the weapon from him. The show went off the air with officials restraining Rhodes, with his anger boiling over. Hot close to the show, it continued to highlight the ongoing rivalry between these two men, while also preserving Zayn's argument for conspiracies keeping him out of the title picture. Overall, SmackDown this week gets an 8 out of 10 for me. A great show that set out several top feuds, highlighted Green, had meaningful title changes and featured a strong brawl to close things out. Arguably the best episode that the Blue brand has produced in a long old while.
That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.